Hi again. Well, today I've decided to come back to the rivers after scoring a blank on the lake last week. I checked the Government Environment Agency site yesterday to check the river levels, and it was showing normal for here, which is I'm back at the Trout stream. I'm not sure what their definition of normal is, but it certainly don't look that normal at the moment. It's pretty up and it's pretty coloured, but I suppose for the time of year one could say it's normal. Anyway, as I say, back at the Trout stream, I much prefer fishing streams to bigger rivers and lakes. I'm not sure why this is called the Trout stream actually, because I've not read anywhere of it actually producing trout, but it's obviously an old name, a bit like the chub stream in St Ives. Although the chub stream does actually produce chub. There may well be trout in here, but I've not read of any trout in here. But today, as usual, not as usual, but more or less usual, I'm after the chub. I mashed up what bread I had left over last week, and I've thrown a few small balls of mashed bread in. And I'm starting at the head of the stream this time, where I caught a fish last time. Last time I spent a long time marching up and down the stream, trying every swim I could, and caught nothing. Then ended up right at the head of the stream here and managed to get a nice chub. So I'm starting at the head today, and then I'm going to work my way down and perhaps try and find some swims that I haven't fished before. Now all the vegetation has died back on the banks, it may be possible to drop in some spots that I hadn't looked in before. Anyway, that's about it. So I'm all tackled up. I'll go over to the head cam for the fishing because it's a much better view, I think, and we'll see how we go. So let's go. Okay, I'm on the head cam. I've actually angled the head cam down a bit more from the last time I went out because I felt you weren't seeing the best view. But the trouble with this cam is you don't actually see what you're filming until you upload it to the computer. So it's possible I may have it set too low. But anyway, we're here on the Trout stream. I said the head of the stream when I did the intro. I didn't mean the head of the stream. I mean the beginning of this particular part of the stretch. Anyway, but this is where I caught the chub at the end of the session last time. It's a lot different today. It's marching down a bit more. And I've changed approach with my tackle. I was using my newly acquired 9-foot rod last time, and I had one heck of a job of keeping that chub out of this vegetation, out of the margin vegetation. So today I brought my John Wilson Avon quiver with a 1.5 ounce glass top. So it's the same sort of sensitivity as the 9-foot rod, but this one's 11'6", so I think it might work a bit better in these wider sections of the stream. Anyway, we'll give it a go. You can see I've got the usual sort of SG shot, link ledger, very, very simple arrangement. I think that's a number 8 hook. Anyway, I'll put some bread on and we'll start fishing. I've got bread and cheese paste today. Very boring, but there we go, that's what we've got. Up to now on this stream, the bread flake seems to have worked better than cheese paste, but in these more coloured conditions it may well be that the cheese paste could be a better bet, but we'll start off with the bread flake and see what I get. There's a bit of flow there, isn't there? Look at that top go around. hopefully the bait will settle in somewhere where the fish are waiting for food to come down. Yeah, that bait's moving around quite a bit on the bottom, isn't it? Which may or may not be a good thing, or a bad thing. It's actually a bit slacker over the other side, but I haven't got a high rod rest to hold the rod up, so can't really keep the bait over there. If you've watched the video of the last time I came here, it was quite fascinating really. I'd march up and down the stretch, trying swims where I'd caught chub before and other swims, and as a last effort I stopped off here just before I left, and I literally got a bite within, well, probably I'll say minutes, probably not much more than a couple of minutes really. So I thought it was a good enough place to start today, but it's a bit different today to what it was then. A lot more water coming down. Yeah, let's try putting the bait over the other side and letting it roll into that fast water. Oops. Yeah, it's obviously got itself pulled right into that near side bank. I'll just flick the video off while I sort myself out. Right, I've moved my seat further forward so I can, although this is quite a low rod rest, it'll enable me to prop up the rod a bit more and hopefully keep the bait over in that less fast water. Oh no, it stayed over there, but no bites. Perhaps it was just nestling in some reeds. Okay. Well, the first choice swim didn't produce, I'm afraid. I've tried exploring all the little nooks and crannies, but I think there's just too much water coming through at the moment. I didn't actually try putting a feeder on. I could have put on a heavy feeder and try and anchor the bait to the bottom, but what I think I'll do, I may come back and try that a bit later, but I'm going to walk along and see if I can find somewhere where there's a bit more of a sheltered, a bit more of a slack, a bit more of an eddy or something where the fish can take a bit more refuge. It's coming down quite heavy here, and I'm not sure I'm going to catch here. So anyway, I'm going to walk along the bank, and when I find somewhere, I'll be back. Well, this looks possible, although not the easiest place in the world to fish, I would think, but just down there behind that raft. The trouble is I'd be right on top of the fish, so and there's really nowhere easy to fish the other side, so I suppose it's worth dropping a bait in just to see what happens, but don't look easy, but we're going to have just a quick dip. have thought if there was a chub down there, it would have taken. Let's just try. Oh well, it was worth a try, just dropping in. I would have thought if there was a chub down there it would have taken quite quickly. But, although it looks like a slack after this raft, it's actually not any, it's still coming down quite heavily really. It's yeah, and it's very difficult fishing here, so I think I'll call it a day here. It's quite interesting how many spots that are obviously being fished now that really just weren't visible or arguably accessible in the summer. This looks interesting. I haven't fished here yet. I've just set myself up, but there's certainly a bit of slack down there. I may stay here for a little while and see how I get on. The last spot I fished I didn't do any good. That was a bit of a chancer really, that one, but yeah, I'll give this a go. And yeah, conditions are not quite as favourable as I'd hoped, but there we go. It is winter and we have had a lot of rain recently, so we see how we go. Well, it's tanking down in the middle, but there's a nice crease down the inside here, so let's see how we go. As I said earlier, the Environment Agency are actually showing levels at normal. Well, yeah, there we go. Oh, Jesus, pulled him out of the water. Oh, well, my intuition was right. Oh, keep him out of there. Keep him out of there. Oh, Jesus, got the net on the wrong side. Oh, I've got to be careful here. Ah, well, at least we've avoided another blank. Not massive, but really, really welcome. I'm going to back out of here, I think. Yeah, it looked the ideal spot really, with the crease going down the side there and the fast water in the middle. So yeah, he's not very big, but he's a fish, that's all that matters. And he's a chub. Yeah. Yeah. Quite a lovely condition as well. Okay, I might try and put him back a little bit further away if I can. Not sure how easy that will be, but we'll have a go. Yeah. Let's just have a look at you before I put you back. Oh. Yeah, beautiful. Right. seems alright now. There we go. Well, success. Well, this spot had all the right features really, with the crease coming down the edge here and the fast water in the middle. So the fact it produced a chub just goes to show that if you look for these features, it works. Whether I can get another fish out of this swim is doubtful, but it is such a nice looking spot, considering there's going to be probably very few options today. I'm going to stick it out for a little while. Probably that will be it, but I'll give it a go and we'll see how we go. I didn't mean to pull the fish out of the water when I struck. It was just I reacted so quickly, and yeah, it sort of just came out of the water, which was quite amazing, really. I'm not sure how deep it is down there. It probably isn't very deep. I had put a bit of mashed bread in before I started, but when I threw it in, it was difficult to see which way it was going. So it actually came back on itself at one point. So whether that was sort of helpful in terms of getting that fish, or whether it was just coincidence, I don't know. Yeah, it's gone right in the edge again. This line, it's actually caught under a reed there. I'll leave it for a while. Perhaps need to get the rod out a bit further. Go and get another rod rest and see if I can get the rod tip out further to keep the line out a bit further. I'm just going to try a bit of cheese paste before I move on from this swim, because as I say, I like the look of this swim, but 2 chub from the same swim is always a challenge. Cast a bit further down this time, but I'm in faster water, so not sure. Well, another spot that's been obviously beaten down and fished from, so we'll give it a go. Doesn't look quite as promising as the last swim, but I'll give it a couple of casts, see if anything comes out. Well, I'm not bothering to bring the chair in here. I'm just going to stand because this is all a bit tricky, and the chair will probably sink in the mud. So. Yeah, it's only really the nettles, the beaten down nettles, that are stopping me sinking in the mud, I think. Let's see how we go. It seems like this this stream is perhaps fished more in the winter than it is in the summer, judging by the number of swims that have been fashioned out, which is certainly not visible in the summer. Yeah, this is all a bit challenging, really. See if there's a slack down there. Well, nothing immediate. Didn't look quite as promising as the features here are not quite as promising as the last place. I thought I'd give it a go, just in case. I guess all this was underwater a little while ago. No, I better save my video, I think, and come back I'll probably move again. I'll come back to you then. When I first fished this stream last year, this was the first spot I started in. I didn't do very well. I was casting over the far side there where the faster stream sort of meets the slack of the eddy, and kept getting caught up in reeds and weeds, and so it's interesting. As I say, this was the first place I started, whereas today I've fished 3 or 4 swims before I've even got here, so it shows you I've been exploring new territory. But I'm really interested at the moment just here, just by that tree there. There's a bit of a slack, there's a raft. I won't go any nearer at the moment, but there's a raft there, and there's a bit of a slack just by the near side bank. So I'm just going to walk up there and drop in. Just going to walk up and drop in, see if there's anything going. Well, this is a bit of opportunist chubbing just about to happen here. There's a little slack just down over the bank there, just on the near side, but if there are fish there, I'll be right on top of them. So I'm just going to take my net and my rod and a rod rest and see if I can just drop over the edge, and maybe something will happen. No, nothing doing. I think if there was a chub down there, it would have gone for it fairly quickly. So, okay, I'll give some of the creases in the swim a try. I didn't do very well here last time I tried it, but it wasn't in these conditions. So, get a bit of a tangle on my rod. Can you see the kite overhead? Red kite. Right overhead. Probably not, because this camera's pointing downwards. That looked like a bit of interest. Maybe not a chub though. Very, very little tentative pulls. Come on, I need more than this to hook you. Oh, whatever it was. I pulled it out of the water again. I think it was a dace. Ah, interesting, eh? It was obviously hanging on to the bread rather than the hook. Let's go and get some more bread. Well, I was just messing around with my video camera and took my eye off the rod, and as all fishermen know, once you take your eye off things, you're going to get a bite, and I did, and I missed it. I'm not sure, I saw the sort of rebound, I'm not sure whether it was a chub bite or whether it was perhaps a roach. I think the one I nearly hooked earlier was probably a roach. Whatever it was, I missed it. So, but that's 2 bites in this swim, but I don't think they're chub. But they may be chublets, I suppose. So I'll stick it a bit longer. The only problem is the sun's dropped down, as it does, and the wind's come up, and it's got quite a nip to it, the wind. So I don't want to stay static for too long. Sure, that was a bite. Something's down there. It's much too tentative though, surely, for chub. Oh well, seems to have lost interest, whatever it was, so I'll flick off the video, come back if anything happens. Well, I didn't get any more positive bites here, so having missed that one, that was my chance, I'm afraid. Anyway, I'm going to see if it's 2 o'clock now. I'm going to pack up about 3, so I'm just going to see if I can find perhaps another chub hole or 2 to drop into on the off chance of picking up another chub. Well, the battery just expired on my head cam, but I bought myself a little power pack, and I'd never actually used it before, but I've just plugged it in and it seems to be working. So that's a success. Anyway, this spot here looks possible, and if you can see, there's like a crease along the edge here. So I'm just going to walk down there a bit, bait up the hook and walk down there. I'm not going to move the tackle down or anything, and just drop in on the off chance. Right, I'll get myself sorted out and I'll be back. Right, okay. Come on here. Let's see if anything's happening down here. Nah, just movement of the water, and oh well, we'll move on and see if we can find another likely looking spot. Well, this is another interesting looking little spot that wouldn't have been available in the summer, because obviously where I'm sitting now would all be high reeds, and someone's obviously beaten their way to this spot. So we've got a fast flow coming down here through quite a narrow gap, and then it opens out into this eddy, or into this bay, and obviously we've got a crease going down this edge. So it looks good. Whether it'll produce anything remains to be seen, but I've got to try these things. Again, it's difficult to know what's fish and what's the effect of the current. It's quite pleasant now. The wind's dropped, and the sun's made an appearance again. Fish haven't, though. I think I'm probably going to make this the last spot I fish, or the last place I walk to downstream, because I'm now a fair way down, and the last time I walked right to the end I was absolutely shattered when I got back, so I'll probably make this the last stop. It looks like a bite. Oh dear, it was definitely a bite. I bloody missed it. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, miss bites. Yeah, because that water over there is relatively slack on the inside of the bend, so it might be a better bet than trying to put it in this bubbling water. Yeah, let's see. Yes, we're in. Oh, this feels good. Oh, how's that? Oh, it's just the heavy water. Oh, gee. This does feel good. It's probably just heavy water. Let's stand up to get this one in. It's going to be fun. Lost the line. Where is it? It's down there. Yeah, you're gonna try and get in here, aren't you? That's a better fish. That's a lovely fish. I think we may weigh that one. Whew. further down on. Get me. Okay. There we go. Well, I messed up big time there, I'm afraid, because the video was off when I weighed the fish. I thought I'd switched it back on, so I weighed the fish, held it up in the lovely, gorgeous evening sunlight, or late afternoon sunlight. Beautiful picture. Unfortunately, the video wasn't on, so you didn't see it, which is a bit sad, really, but there we go. It just goes to show. Video in your fishing trips is not always as simple as it looks. Anyway, it weighed 2 3/4 pounds, so, or thereabouts, 2.8 on the decimal scale. That's that, 86, 48, 8. Oh. Yeah, about £2.13 ounces, I would say, thereabouts. Yeah, so I'm very disappointed with that because it was a lovely fish. And I held it up in the sunlight and it would have made an absolutely beautiful picture. But unfortunately, I screwed up. I turned the video off while I was messing about. I forgot to turn it back on again. So, there you go. Yeah, really sad about that. It was a lovely fish. I mean, so you saw it come in, you saw me land it and everything, but holding it up on that sunlight, it looked really beautiful. And yeah. Trouble is, when you catch a fish, you know, you've got so much on your mind, sort of get the hook out, do all this, do all that, and you sometimes forget where you are with the video. Fish is more important than the video, obviously. I thought it was bigger than that, actually. It's really thick set. And in this heavy flow, it really fought well. And of course, with all this, these reeds in the side here dying off, even with this longer rod today, it was a hell of a job to keep him out. Fortunately, I think he had tired himself out quite a bit, getting, you know, retreating him back up through all this heavy flow, so. But I am really disappointed about not getting that picture. Really disappointed. Anyway, I think this is going to be my last cast. I was going to drop in on the way back, but having got that fish, that's rounded off the day quite nicely. It's now coming up to 20 to 3. I was going to leave here at 3, or pack up at 3. So I'll leave this out for a while, but I don't think I'm going to get another chub out of this swim, or not immediately anyway. Anyway, so it's been an interesting day. In fact, this is the best part of the day. The wind's dropped and the sun's come out, and there's not much heat in it, but it's beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Yeah, interesting day. Managed to get a chub out back there in one spot, and missed a few bites in the big sort of pool that I was fishing, which I think were probably roach. I nearly hooked one, sort of came out of the water, but I think it was just hanging onto the bait rather than hooked. Anyway, and then came here as the last spot, and basically a lovely chub. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, as always, and also thank you to those people who have subscribed to my channel. I've gained quite a few subscribers recently, and also the number of views of my videos has increased quite significantly. So thank you, all of you. and I'll try and catch some more fish for you in the future. But even if I don't catch fish, you can have the pleasure of seeing me trying. Yeah, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and it's as usual, bye for now and cheers.
Have you been able to say and away?
And away.
Yeah. Have you not been watching Mortimer and...
No, I'm not really into them too. It's more about socialising and fishing, isn't it?
Well, it is, but it's been...
And away, and away. No, I'm not familiar with that expression, but I have had one fish. So I suppose that's underway.
Was it a trout then? No.
Well, it's a fun... they call this the trout stream. I've not read anywhere about trout coming out of here. It was a chub actually. So, but I caught it here. But it's a bit difficult today. There's a lot of water coming down. It's a bit tricky.
Yeah, we walked around and it is dreadful mud.
Yeah. I was hoping it would be a bit lower today, but no. Anyway, so one chub and away, as you say. Okay, yeah. Oh dear, I don't know if I'll keep all that in the video. Probably not.